Today, we are going to talk about an important event in world history. This event changed the future of many countries. It changed ideas about freedom, rights, and government. This event is called the American Revolution. The American Revolution was a war. It was a fight for freedom. The people living in America wanted independence. They did not want to be ruled by Britain anymore. This revolution did not happen in one day. It took many years. It involved common people, soldiers, leaders, and thinkers. It was full of hope, fear, struggle, and sacrifice. In this video, we will learn why the American Revolution started, who fought in the revolution, important events and battles, famous leaders, how the war ended, why the American Revolution is important today. Let us begin our journey into history. Life in the American colonies. Before the American Revolution, America was not a free country. It was made up of 13 colonies. These colonies were controlled by Great Britain. The colonies were Virginia, Massachusetts, New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and many others. People in the colonies were mostly farmers, traders, workers, and shopkeepers. They worked hard. They built towns, farms, and businesses. At first, Britain did not control the colonies closely. The colonists managed their own daily life. They had local governments. They felt free. But after some time, things began to change. Problems between Britain and the colonies. Britain fought many wars in Europe. One major war was the French and Indian War. This war cost Britain a lot of money. After the war, Britain was in debt. The British government decided to get money from the colonies. Britain started placing taxes on the colonists. Some important taxes were the Sugar Act, the Stamp Act, the Townshend Acts, the Tea Act. The colonists were angry. They had no representatives in the British Parliament. They could not vote on these taxes. They said, "No taxation without representation." This means, if we pay taxes, we should have a voice in government. Britain did not listen. Growing anger and protests. The colonists began to protest. They held meetings. They wrote letters. They gave speeches. One famous protest was the Boston Tea Party. In 1773, British tea was sent to the colonies. The tea was taxed. The colonists refused to accept it. One night, a group of colonists dressed as Native Americans. They boarded British ships in Boston Harbor. They threw boxes of tea into the water. This made Britain very angry. Britain punished the colonies. They closed Boston Harbor. They passed harsh laws. The colonists called these laws the Intolerable Acts. The First Continental Congress. In 1774, leaders from the colonies met together. This meeting was called the First Continental Congress. They discussed their problems. They asked Britain to treat them fairly. They did not want war yet. But Britain did not change its actions. Soon, fighting began. The first shots of the revolution. In April 1775, British soldiers marched to Lexington and Concord. They wanted to take weapons from the colonists. Colonial soldiers, called militia, stood against them. A shot was fired. No one knows who fired it. This shot is called the shot heard around the world. The American Revolution had begun. The Second Continental Congress. After the fighting started, colonial leaders met again. This meeting was called the Second Continental Congress. They made important decisions. They created an army. They chose George Washington as the army's leader. They began to think seriously about independence. George Washington was respected. He was calm and brave. He believed in freedom. The Declaration of Independence. Many colonists still hoped for peace. But Britain continued the war. In 1776, colonial leaders decided it was time for independence. They wrote a famous document called the Declaration of Independence. The main writer was Thomas Jefferson. This document said, "All people are born equal. All people have natural rights. These rights include life, liberty, and happiness. Governments exist to protect these rights." On July 4, 1776, the Declaration was approved. America declared itself a free nation. The War for Independence. The American Revolution was not easy. The British Army was strong. They were well trained. They had more weapons. The American Army was weaker. They lacked food, clothing, and money. Many soldiers were farmers. They had little training. But they had something powerful, the desire for freedom. Hard times for American soldiers. American soldiers suffered greatly. They faced cold winters. They were hungry. They were tired. One terrible winter was at Valley Forge. Soldiers had no shoes. They had no blankets. Many became sick. George Washington stayed with his soldiers. He encouraged them. He never gave up. Slowly, the army became stronger. Help from other countries. The Americans were not alone. France hated Britain. France decided to help the colonies. France gave money, weapons, soldiers, ships. This help was very important. Other countries, like Spain, also helped. Important battles. Many battles were fought during the American Revolution. Some important ones include Battle of Bunker Hill. The British won, but they lost many soldiers. This showed the Americans could fight. Battle of Saratoga. This was a turning point. The American victory convinced France to help. Battle of Yorktown. This was the final major battle. In 1781, British General Cornwallis was trapped. American and French forces surrounded him. Cornwallis surrendered. The war was almost over. The end of the war. In 1783, Britain officially recognized American independence. This was done in the Treaty of Paris. The United States of America was born. After the Revolution. After the war, America faced new challenges. The people needed a government. They wanted freedom, but also order. They wrote the Constitution. They later added the Bill of Rights. These documents protected freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, the right to a fair trial. These ideas influenced many other countries. Why the American Revolution matters. The American Revolution changed the world. It showed that people can fight for freedom. Governments should serve the people. Rights are important. It inspired other revolutions. The French Revolution. Independence movements around the world. Even today, the ideas of the American Revolution are alive. The American Revolution was not just a war. It was a fight for ideas. It was a fight for freedom and equality. Ordinary people did extraordinary things. They stood up against a powerful empire. They changed history. Understanding the American Revolution helps us understand democracy, human rights, the value of freedom. History teaches us lessons. The American Revolution teaches us to never give up on justice. Thank you for watching. Keep learning. Keep questioning. And always value freedom.